All right, Shalom Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group or any other Christian organization. So tonight's class is the Lashawan Qadash class. We'll go ahead and get to the basics. All right. So once again, we just went over the past tense. We went over the present tense. We also went over the future tense. We did a little bit of a little bit of basic / advanced sentence structure. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and get back into the basics again, so we can also understand more thoroughly into how to structure sentences in basic sentence structure. All right. So now, with that being said, tonight's class we're going to focus on subject pronouns, object pronouns, and possessive pronouns. Like, this is something very, very important to understand. Subject pronouns, possessive pronouns, and object pronouns. All right. So subject pronouns, object pronouns, and possessive pronouns. The reason why we want to learn this is because this is how you actually make real basic sentence structures. You're going to want to know your subject pronouns because those are involved in sentences. Object pronouns, because you want to know what an object pronoun is, of course, because this involves how to structure sentences, and they will be in your sentences. Then you have possessive pronouns. All right, these will also be in your sentences. Why? Well, possessive pronouns is something that you possess. Like, this is mine, or this is yours, or that's theirs. Like this, these are things that we want to know. These are easy words that we can easily include into our sentence structure. So we're gonna with that being said, hey brother, give me Ecclesiasticus, all right, chapter 1, verse 1 in the Apocrypha. All right, that being in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 1. I want to bring something out before class. And I want you to let me know when you have it, all right?
Con, I got it right now.
All right. Skip me down to where I want you to skip me down to let me see, where it says for the same things uttered in Hebrew. Look up that for me, please. It says for the same things uttered in Hebrew. It says for the same things uttered in Hebrew. Book of Bashar.
Con.
Let me know when you got it up.
Con, sir.
Take your time, boy. By the way, if anybody has any questions for class, make sure you put it into the live chat, all right? Most High in Christ. Make sure if you guys have any questions for class, make sure you put it into the live chat. Do not be afraid to ask any questions. If you want to know what a word is, like if you want to know like what type of what a word may be, or how to pronounce that word, or how would you make this sentence, whatever the case may be, we will get to it, all right? All right?
Con, sir, I got it.
All right, go ahead and read it for me, y'all.
Con. It says, wherefore we may seek to come short of some words which we have labored to elaborate, for some other and other tongues have not the same force in them.
Above that, go a little bit above that. For the same things uttered in Hebrew. Look for that. For the same things uttered in Hebrew. I think you might be in the right area, but maybe a little bit above that.
Come.
The water.
Wherefore, let me entreat you to read it in favor and attention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seek attention or seek to see to come short of some words which things have uttered in Hebrew.
For the same things, you see that? Where it says, which we have labored to interpret.
Con, sir.
After that sentence.
And translated into another tongue.
All right, so start for the same things uttered in Hebrew, start from the top. For the same thing. I want everyone in class to listen to this. Go ahead, William.
For the same thing, things uttered in Hebrew.
So the Lord says, for the same things uttered in Hebrew, go ahead.
And translated into another tongue.
Meaning translated into another language. So when the language that's spoken in Hebrew translated into another language, meaning you have the Hebrew language, then it gets translated into English. You have the Hebrew language, then it gets translated into Spanish. Like whatever language is translated into, right? Whatever the Hebrew language, whatever language is translated into, go ahead.
Con. Have not the same force in them.
Say that one more time.
Have not the same force in them.
Like it doesn't have the same force. Meaning, instead of saying yes, sir, yes, right? That doesn't have that much force. But saying kana one ka has that force. Everyone understand that? Like if I want to say anya awahabka, right? Which I just use a object pronoun when I said that. And I'll also use a present tense conjugation, right? Based on the subject pronoun I am. If anyone comes to my classes, right? When I said anya awahabka, I'm saying I love you, right? But if I say I love you in English, okay, I just love you. But if I say anya awahabka, I love you in Hebrew, that has more force in it. Because me saying it in English doesn't have as much force as me saying it in Hebrew. Now let's see what the Lord also says. That's just an example. Go ahead.
Con. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference.
Say that one more time.
Con. And not only these things,
it says not only these things, go ahead,
but the law,
but meaning rather, go ahead.
Con. But the law itself,
but the law itself, right? But the law itself, meaning when the law is spoken in the Hebrew, and when you read it in the Hebrew, and you look up these words on what they mean, they have more force in it. You'll truly understand what it means. Go ahead.
Con. But the law itself.
Go ahead.
Salakia, sir. Give me 1 second. Because it's kind of messing up. Salakia, sir.
Go ahead. Should say in the prophets.
But the law itself and the prophets.
It says and the prophets, meaning the prophets that are speaking, right? Like the priests and prophets of the Lord, all right? They spoke Hebrew. They spoke the Lashawan Qadash, you understand? They said to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Brakatan. They said to Yahweh Shema Allah Ba'ashim Yahweh. They said Yaquam Yasha Allah. They said Yallah Yasha Allah. They said these things, you understand? Like they spoke the Hebrew language. They spoke it fluently. They said Anya Awahabka. Like they said these things. You know what I'm saying? They spoke the Lashawan Qadash. They spoke the Hebrew language. Moses spoke Hebrew. Joshua spoke Hebrew. David, King Solomon spoke Hebrew. And King David, King Solomon spoke Hebrew. Malachi spoke Hebrew. Micah spoke Hebrew. Obadiah spoke Hebrew. You understand? Daniel, Isaiah, Jeremiah. You understand? They spoke Hebrew. The priests and prophets of the Lord as a nation of people, All right, the nation of Israel, the Jews, which is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we spoke Hebrew. Go ahead, finish it up.
Come. And the rest of the book
Go ahead.
have no small difference.
There you go. And we'll stop right there. And it says the rest of the books have no small difference. Go ahead.
Come.
When they are what?
When they are spoken in their own language.
Meaning when the Bible is being spoken in its own language, when we're speaking the Lashawan Qadash, it's a very heavy thing. When we start reading the Bible and we start reading the Lashawan Qadash and we start reading the records of the Israelites and we start reading the record of the Jews, all right, there is no small difference. It's a very important thing to learn this language because this is a part of our culture. This is a part of our heritage, all right? You can drop that up. So now we have a question online, all right? How do you say blossom in Hebrew, Salakia? Taza Yataza. All right, that's how you would say blossom in Hebrew. Taza Yataza. All right, Taza Yataza. You want to say it? That's in the feminine sense. That ha at the end lets you know that that blossom is coming from a feminine sense or a subservient sense. So it's Taza Yataza. Taza Yataza. All right, Taza Yataza. I'm going to write on the board real quick. All right. So Taza, Salakia, you want hold on a second. When you say Salakia's request, 1 second, Bo Kusha. All right. Taza, also, you can also raise your hand. I'll get to you, all right?
Come, sir.
No sign crown. So Taza Yataza. All right. Taza Yataza. All right. You have Taza. All right. Taza Yataza. Taza Yataza. You put it together. Taza Yataza. Taza Yataza. Taza Yataza. That's how you would say blossom in the Lashawan Qadash. All right, go ahead, Will. You have a question?
Oh, Salakia, sir. I was just actually if you wanted me to.
Oh, yeah, no sweat. In this case, I'll let you get up there. No sweat, kind of. But yeah, that's how you would say Taza Yataza. All right. So now, all right, come. Ayanda bar, no sweat, no sweat. All right, so this is what we'll do. So first thing we'll do is the alphabet. All right. You can get it. You can go up, please. Warrior, if you would like to go up. So now, I want you to. So we're gonna write in the paleo. All right, we'll write in the paleo today. All right. So now, don't sweat out. I also got you too if you don't know it. All right. Of course, the white man being the devil. All right. You got all these brothers today. All our brothers and sisters today are out here trying to celebrate New Year. They're gonna see nothing but gunshots. Hear gunshots in the ear, in the air, and really, it's a cotton picking shame for real. All right. So what we're gonna do is write ah. You remember what the ah looks like?
You said ah.
Yeah, ah. No, ah. The letter ah.
Oh, the letter.
So we're gonna start from the all right.
Can you give it to me?
Oh yeah, kind of no sweat. All right. So this is how you're gonna write ah. So let's get it. So, take a seat real quick, actually, and keep that marker in your hand. Come right, boom, shot. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna write it right next to mine.
Come.
So you got your ah. You got your ba. You got your ga. You got your da. Now everyone, right, that's in class, we're gonna go over the alphabet. All right. I want everyone to understand the alphabet because what you want to do when we're learning possessive pronouns, all right, and when we're learning object pronouns, you want to know the alphabet. You want to know the alphabet before anything. All right. I know some of y'all are very, very skilled, but you want to make sure you know the alphabet. You understand? right? So you got your I right here. Then you got your ba right here. Then you got your ga right here. And then you got your da right here. All right, so ah, ba, ga, da. All right. You got your ha right here. You got your wa right here. You got your za right here. You got your ha right here. All right, so you got your ah, your ba, your ga, your da. Right, so ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ha. All right, and we're going to another section right here. You got your ta right here. Got your ta right here. You got your ya right here. You got your ka right here. You got your ka right here. Ta ya ka, and you got your la right here. So this is only part of the alphabet. We're going to get more on the board, but for teaching purposes, we're going to make sure. All right, we're going to do almost one at a time. So you got your ah, your ba, your ga, your da. Then you got your ha, your wa, your za, your ha. Then you got your ta, your ya, all right? Then your ka and your la. So your ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ha, ta, ya, ka, and la. All right? Get up there, warrior. What I want you to do is literally mimic what I just wrote to the best of your ability.
Okay, give me 1 second. If I could,
What's that word?
give me 1 second.
Also, warrior, you need to take a picture of this as well. Right? You want to make sure you take notes in this class as well. All right? You want to take as much notes as possible. All right? So you can be able to remember this. Also, anyone in class, what you also want to do is you want to make sure you write. All right?
Okay, that will be ah,
Yes, that's your
ba,
ka. Then your ga, your da. What I want you is to come up on the board and write it.
ga.
Right? I want you to mimic exactly what I wrote, but next to each letter. All right?
Oh, come.
So you got the marker.
So that will be ah, right?
Right, that's your ah. Well, I want you to practice in writing it in Hebrew.
Come.
So I want you to write it just like how I wrote it.
Oh, okay. So you want me to write it just like that?
Right, mimic exactly that. And you can put I underneath if you want to. Actually, yes, put I underneath as well. So we know that that letter is I. So erase that I that you got up there.
And just say I.
And mimic that and write what exactly how I wrote it up there, right next to it. That's the Y. Now put I underneath. So now that's I in the paleo script. So if everyone can see the board, all right, the brother is literally copying, all right, and mimicking exactly how the alphabet looks. Now the brother wrote I because the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet is I. Go ahead. Go to the next one.
Come.
There will be pa. No, that's your ba.
Yeah, Bob.
That's your ba. That's what your ba would look like. That's the letter ba. Alright?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, that's the letter ba. But make sure you mimic it, alright? Right? Make sure you mimic it.
It will be Bob.
Right? Copy that ba.
There we go. Come.
So you see what I got on the board?
Come.
I want you to copy that right next to it. Right next to each letter. So you see how you got the I right next to the first I? Write a ba right next to the ba.
That will be Pa, right?
No, that's a ga. But you didn't complete the order for the ba.
Oh, that would, yeah.
But I want you see what you did with the I, right? You see how you did with the I? I want you to do the same thing with the ba.
That's BA, right?
But you see that you actually wrote an I in the Hebrew. I want you to write a ba in the Hebrew as well.
Come. You said Abba.
Right. La word. La. You see how you did the I right there? Write a ba right next to the ba.
You said right.
Okay, let me show you. Right. So you see this right here? That makes sense. You see this I right here? This is an I. All right. This is just how you pronounce it. All right. This shit right here makes this shit don't matter. This is what an I looks like. All right. So this is just letting you know how to pronounce the I. All right. See this right here? This ba. This is just how you pronounce the ba. But this is the ba. I want you to copy what the ba looks like right next to it.
Oh, okay. That's you want to. Oh, okay.
Right. And I want you to do that for each one.
Each one. Oh, okay. I got it.
No sweat.
No sweat. Right. No sweat. And you got that again?
The ba. That's a ba. So it goes ah and ba. Close. Try it one more time. You want to make a triangle first. We're going to start with the triangle first. La. Close. All right.
Not really.
La. You want to start with the top line.
You said top line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No sweat.
La. Erase it. Let me show you exactly how it is. That's how you want to start it with. All right. See this? See how the bottom looks like? The top line is this. The top line is going down. Then you have the second line that's making that triangle, right? You see it? You're focusing on that? You see it? The bottom line here. You take the line, the third line is going down.
Yeah.
And then the third.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and try. That's a ba. I'll take that. That's a ba. Most High in Christ. All right, go ahead. Go to the ga.
Okay.
That's That's what a God looks like. Try to make it bigger. Make it bigger. But that's Tawad. That's exactly how you do a God though.
Salakia, sir.
God. And write God underneath.
You said right, God.
Write the God. Right. Most High Christ. No, God. God.
God.
G-A-D. God.
Salakia, sir.
There you go. Most High Christ. Now move on to the God. So it's Ah, Ba, Da, and Da. Write it. Write the Da right next to it. Like right out loud. I mean, rewrite that Da. Rewrite the Da. Don't put it underneath. Put the Da next to the Da.
Okay, next.
Right. Only thing that should be going underneath is the pronunciation. All right. Erase that.
So just put it right here.
Okay. Well, you see that Da that's underneath that Da?
Uh-huh.
Erase it. Now put that very same thing.
Just beside it.
Exactly.
So put the total enunciation and then the thing.
You see how you've been doing it the whole time?
Uh-huh.
Do exactly what you do.
Okay.
I mean, do exactly what you did. There you go. Exactly like that. You could have made it bigger, but that's fine. Go ahead and write the Da. Most High Christ. Now that's what a Da looks like. You got your Ah, your Ba, your Da, and your Da. All right. Do the very same thing for your Ha. Now remember, everybody, Hebrew goes from right to left. All right. So when learning Hebrew, everything is written from right to left. Right. You want to know how to write your language, and you want to know how to speak your language as well. All right. So if anyone hasn't been writing a language, that's not a Ha. That's a Ha. But that is you want to go in order. All right. So erase that. You want to make sure everyone go. You want to make sure you start practicing writing these letters and writing the language as well. You do not want to get comfortable in writing it just in the English. All right. You want to also write it in the Hebrew, so you know how to read it, because it's not going to be written in English. It's going to be written just like this in the Bible. All right. So you know what? You know which one your Ha is? It's Ah, Ba, Ga, Da, and Ha. Right. Read from right to left. Look at the board.
Yeah.
And read from right to left. So that would be your Ha. Correct. All right. Now mimic what the Ha looks like.
Looks like an F.
Yeah, with an extra line, but write it. I want you to copy it.
You want me to write it?
I want exactly what you've been doing so far. That's exactly what I want you to do. That's the wow. That's what a Ha looks like. All right. What's the next letter?
That right there, that will be Wa.
Most High Christ. That's correct. Now mimic the Wa.
And this will be Za.
Well, you gotta mimic the Wa first. You gotta complete the full order.
Come.
All right. You wanna also focus and recognize the entire pattern that you've been doing too as well. All right.
Come.
You don't want to complete half the order. You want to complete the entire order.
Come.
Go ahead. So you got the Wa. Copy the Wa. That's right in front of you. That's a Za. Erase the Za. Erase that Za underneath. Now go back to the wall. I want you to copy the wall.
Come on.
Mhm.
Marcus, where you need to copy it?
You see what you've been doing the entire time up?
At the top of it. Oh, okay.
My eye, it's been to the left of it.
Come on.
La. That's a Y. That's not a Y. Literally mimic exactly what you see right next to it. Huh? There you go. No sign Christ. Now move on to the next letter. What's the next letter?
Yes,
Hmm?
Yes,
That's a za. Okay, now. All right. Now go ahead and mimic the za. Copy it and make it right how the za looks. Exactly right next to it.
Yes, ka.
Well, that's pronounced as cha, but we're not there yet. Remember, the za was missing.
Right here.
It's always been to the left, right?
Come.
So write that za right next to it.
So yeah, that's how you want me. Okay.
Write it bigger than that, but right next to it.
Come. Come.
No sign Christ. Now move on to the cha.
Ka.
No sign Christ. Now that's pronounced as a cha, right?
Come.
All right. Move on to the next letter.
You want me to go to the right?
Right.
Down right here.
There you go. Khan, because Hebrews is read from right to left.
Ka.
No sign Christ. Next letter. That's exactly correct.
Yeah.
All right, that's a ya. Make that ya a little bigger. Well, I'm talking about the actual ya.
The one right here.
Exactly. Because that's the ya. Just let you know that's the ya. What's at the bottom of that is just the pronunciation, all right?
Come.
Nah, make that better. Let me show you how. Let me show you how I do. All right. So this is how I would write it, right? See, the first line, like you're gonna make it's almost like a zot, right? But almost on a tilt. So you got this, you got this, you got this, you add it. All right. Go ahead and try it. Now I will. You see what I did?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with what you did right there.
That's what I want you to do.
I'm gonna do what you did.
That's it. That's how you write that zot. Most High in Christ.
Okay.
Do exactly what I did.
I'm gonna do
On every letter. I want you to do exactly what I did.
Okay.
Most High in Christ. Now, next one is a ka. All right. A ka. A ka.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right. That's what a ka looks like. Most High in Christ. What's the next letter?
That's gonna be La.
All right. Most High in Christ. All right. Go ahead, take a seat. I'll call you back up. Most High in Christ. So this is your alphabet. So you got your A, your Ba, your Ga, your Da, your Ha, your Wa, your Za. You take a seat. So we got your A, your Ba, your Ga, your Da. Then your Ha, your Wa, your Za, your Ha, your Ta, your Ka, your La. All right. Now we're gonna get the other part of the alphabet. All right. And then we're gonna get into our subject pronouns. All right. So here we go. So we're just gonna get into it. All right, I'm gonna write them on the board. So after your la, you got your ma, your na, you got your sa. All right, you got your la, your ma, your na, your sa, your I, your pa. All right, you got your ma, your na, your sa, your I, your pa, your taza. You got your kwa, you got your ra, you got your sha, and then you got your tha. All right, Salaki. You guys see the rest of the board? You got your ma, your na, your sa, your I, your pa, your taza, your kwa, your ra, your sha, and your tha. So it goes aba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, kwa, ra, sha, tha. All right. Remember to study your alphabet. If you don't know how to write your alphabet, start practicing and writing your alphabet every day. All right. If you guys need the alphabet sheet, you can also look it up online if you would like to, but it's on the internet. All right, study that chart on how to write the Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew. All right, So we're gonna get into tonight's lesson about possessive pronouns. All right, we're gonna get into possessive pronouns. All right, subject pronouns. We're gonna get into object pronouns and possessive pronouns. So let's start with subject pronouns. All right. So we're gonna start with subject. So now in Ward. What's a subject pronoun? You know? It's the why. If you don't, that's the why. It's fine.
Come, sir. A subject pronoun is a pronoun. It is basically like a topic.
Okay, so give me an example of a subject pronoun.
Okay, if we're saying like our pronoun today is gonna be like as far as our subject, it would be
like a word. It'll be like a word. Like think of
exactly. It would be a word.
So give me an example of a subject pronoun.
It would be like we're talking about King David.
Okay. That could be a subject pronoun, but not like a name. Okay, that's more so a noun if you're talking about the name itself, but it could be put into place within a subject pronoun, but that's not what we're necessarily talking about. Okay, so a subject pronoun, your subject pronouns is this. Your subject pronouns is like your I, your you, your he, your she. Like these are your subject pronouns. So first thing we're gonna get on the board is I. Like if you want to say like I'm doing this, right? Or I'm going here. The subject pronoun within that sentence would be I. Okay, so we're gonna get that on the board. So I or I am. Do you remember how to say I am in the Hebrew? Or la? Okay,
La.
La. So you got your anya. So you got your anya. All right. This is your ah. This is your na. And this is your ya. Which is anya. Right? Anya. Equals. We're gonna write anya out. AHNYA, which pronounced anya, which is
to watch or something.
One more time.
To watch.
Not to watch. So I am. So I am. I or I am. This is your subject pronoun. All right. Okay. How do you say I need you? I got you real quick, Akwab. I got you. So now, this is your anya. This is your subject pronoun. All right. So anya. This is your ah, right? This is your na. This is your ya. You put it together, right? You get anya, which is I or I am. All right. Anya. It means I or I am. So anya means what?
It means I am.
Or
it could be
I or I am. Right. So anya means what?
I am or I'm watching.
No, I. Listen to me carefully. Anya means I or I am. So anya means what?
I or I am.
There you go. Most High in Christ. Perfect. Just like that. All right. We have a question online. How do you say I need you? Okay, I need you. Here we go. So now, this gets into object pronouns. All right. In this case, Akwa, I'll write it because I know you know Hebrew, so I'm gonna write it in the English for you. All right. So the verb to need is tazarak. Tazarak is how you would say need. All right. So if you want to say I need something or this person needs anything, you would use the verb tazarak. 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 So we're going to conjugate it in the present tense. We'll conjugate in the present tense and we'll say taza. Let me write that a little bigger for you. Taza wa rock. Now, if you want to spell Tazza Warak, it's saying I need. All right? But add a ka. All right? That ka means you. This is need. Right? Tazaraka. Anya Tazaraka. Right? Anya Taza, it's like not Tazaraka, Tazawarak. All right? Anya Tazawaraka. All right? Anya Tazawarak. Anya Tazawaraka. All right? So Anya Tazawaraka is how you would say I need you. Anya Tazawaraka. 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 Right? I need you. Anya Tazawaraka. All right? Let me know if that answers your question, Aqua.
So I did, sir. If I could.
Yeah, you were right the first time when you raised your hand. Go ahead.
General Sharma, he said, like it said,
General Shawamar.
General Sharma, he said,
What's his full name?
On your Sharma, he said, that means he told me I'm watching.
Okay. So, what's your question?
I mean, it's not, I was like, that's why I was, I was seeing what you're saying.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying General, so we call him General Shawamar for short, but his full name is General Anya Shawamar. His name does mean I'm watching. That's his name. Anya in his name is saying I am. That's within his name. And Shawamar is literally the present tense for saying watching. All right? That's why General Shawamar, like his name means I am watching. And I promise you, anyone that's out there, by the way, he is watching. He's probably watching me right now. And I wouldn't even know it. All right? So does that answer your question, Aqua? Most High in Christ, a Yundaball. All right, I'll go ahead and take this off the board. So now you have Anya. All right? All right, Anya, which is I am. You got your Anya, all right, which means I am. That's the subject pronoun for I or I am. All right, that's a like it. Now, can anyone give me another subject pronoun?
Go.
Go ahead, Maury. What's another subject pronoun you might know?
Go. I would say Atha.
Okay, Atha. Atha is another subject pronoun. That is absolutely correct. Atha is another subject pronoun. Now, what does Atha mean?
If I'm not mistaken, Atha means
Also, put your phone on mute.
bless.
No, that doesn't mean that. Also, put your phone on mute. Give it another try.
Go. Okay. No.
Give it another shot, boy. What does Atha mean?
It means you.
Most High in Christ. That's exactly what it means. Atha means you. All right? Atha means you. So let's get on the board. So Atha means you. Most High in Christ. Also, if you guys have any questions online, don't be afraid to put in. So Atha means you. So you got your A, your Tha, and you have a Ha at the end. All right? equals Atha. A-H is how you would spell it in English. A-A-T-H. A-H. Atha, which equals you. All right, Atha is you. All right, this is a subject pronoun. So Atha is the subject pronoun for you. Now, do not mistake subject pronouns for object pronouns. All right, subject pronouns are not object pronouns, and object pronouns are not possessive pronouns. You do not want to mistake the three. Subject pronouns are not object pronouns. So you have Atha. So this is your a, this is your tha, this is your ha. You put together it's Atha, which means you. All right. Someone give me another subject pronoun. Give me another subject.
Barak. Slovakia, sir.
Go ahead. Try one more time. Give me another shot.
I would say, is that a question? Slovakia, sir. Would it be a question or would it be just?
Well, no. Give me another subject pronoun.
I would say Barak.
Barak. What does Barak mean?
Bless.
Barak is not a subject pronoun. Remember, we said so far I am and you, right? So another subject pronoun, I'll give it to you. All right. If you don't know what subject pronouns is, by the way, it's Tuwa. All right. So subject pronouns are usually like your I am, I, you, he, she, we, and they. All right. All right. Those are more so your, or you all, like that's you pluralized. Like these are your subject pronouns. So we'll get the next subject pronoun on the board, which is he. So we had your I, all right, we had your you, now let's get he. All right, how would you say he in Hebrew? All right.
Slovakia, sir. If I can. I got a question and stuff like that. It's gonna be in Proverbs chapter 21, verse 29.
Okay, Proverbs chapter 21, verse 29. Go ahead.
It says, a wicked man harden his face. A wicked man harden his face, but as for the upright, he directed his way. And I want to get a breakdown.
Okay. You said Proverbs chapter 21, verse 9?
29.
Proverbs 21, verse 29?
Come on.
Right, read it.
A wicked man hardened his face,
Okay.
but as for the upright, he directed his way.
Okay, so it says a wicked man. What's a wicked man?
A man that does not follow the laws.
Okay, and what does he do?
He does everything against the Most High.
Okay, now read the next. Read after wicked man.
Come. Harden his face.
How do you harden your face?
You looking like you look mad, basically. I would say you're a nerd. You're upset at somebody.
Okay, not exactly. So when you harden your face, what is your face?
Your face look like you. I'll do anything.
Okay. You gotta think spiritual, right?
Come.
Your face is like your what? Your face is not always your literal face. So what would your face be in this case?
Your face would just be your countenance.
There you go. So like your how you look.
Yeah. It would be
Right.
how you look.
How you present. So a wicked man does what?
Come, sir. A wicked man hardened his face.
Go ahead.
But as
for the upright,
Now, who is the upright?
the men that keep the law.
Okay. Meaning he keeps his law, statutes, and commandments is what?
He directeth his way.
Meaning he knows where to go. He knows exactly what to do. Because he is a man of the Lord and he knows how to follow orders. You understand that?
Come.
A wicked man is going to harden his face. He's not going to listen. He's not going to give a damn about who says what and what the Lord says. Because he's already a wicked man. He hardens his face. You understand? He hardens his face. He's not going to want to listen. He's going to do what he wants to do. What you want to understand is Proverbs is a book, all right, of a black man writing it, all right, a bunch of good things to do and to live by, all right. So I want you to understand that.
Come, sir.
All right. So when it says a hard man hardens his face, all right, that's spiritual, all right. He's not going to do what the Lord says to do. He's not going to listen. But the upright, the one who follows the Lord, will direct his way. Meaning he's going to go into the way of the Lord. He's going to do what the Lord says to do. He's not going to take upon himself to do what he wants to do.
Come.
All right. Okay, so what we got on the board, the next subject pronoun is hawa'a. So this is what your ha looks like, this is what your wa looks like, and this is what your ah looks like. All right, hawa'a. All right, this is in the English, hawa'a, which means he. All right, hawa'a means he. All right, this is how you would say he. All right, in the Hebrew, which is pronounced hawa'a. This is a subject pronoun. All right, these are your subject pronouns. Now let's get she. It's the very same thing as he, but instead it's haya'a. All right, you got your ha, you got your ya, and you got your ah. Haya'a. Haya'a, which is she. You got your she, haya'a. So you have your hawa'a, and then you have your haya'a. This is how you would say he and she. All right, these are your subject pronouns. So anya is aya, ayel. All right, atha is your you. Hawa'a is your he. Haya'a is your she. All right. You understand? Let's get it.
Go, sir. Oh, I have another question.
Go ahead, Woody.
Come, sir. And Salaki. I want to break down Ecclesiastes 31 and 27.
Ecclesiasticus.
Ecclesiasticus
All right,
31 and 27. I just want to break down that.
Next, let's get the Hebrew subject pronoun for anak nawa. Ecclesiasticus chapter what?
31 verse 27 out of 1.
Go ahead and read it from the
Khan. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, verse 31 and 27.
Mm-hmm.
Wine is as good as life to a man,
Okay.
if he be drunk moderately.
Okay.
What life is to then a man that is without wine? For it was made to make men glad.
Okay. So it says 31 and verse 27. It says, wine is good as life to a man. Right, go to verse above.
Salakia, sir, what verse?
Verse 26.
Verse, oh, give me a one.
Go up to verse 25.
Give me a second, because I can't. I'm trying to get there.
No sweat up. Take your time. So now what we got next is a knock nawa. So we're gonna get a knock nawa on the board. A knock nawa is how you would say we. Right? A knock nawa. Alright? A knock nawa.
Yep.
So a knock now is spelled AHNACHNA, right? WA. Now I know it's a long word, all right? I know it's a long word for we, because I know in the English, all right, we is just a 2-letter word, but translated into the Hebrew, all right, a knock nawa is a 5-letter word, all right? So you have your and then you have your na, you have your cha, you have your na, and then you have your wa. So you have your you have your na, you have your cha, you have your na, and you have your wa. If you put that together, you have your anak nawa. Your anak nawa, which is we. That's your subject pronoun, all right? Anak nawa, that's your subject pronoun. All right, a knock nawa. All right, you good on that word?
Salakia, sir. I'm still trying to get there.
God, there's 2 verses above on Ecclesiastes chapter 31 from 27. Let's go.
Come. I'm trying to get there.
All right.
Hold on.
So now let's get the next one. So you have a knock nawa, all right, which is we. There's another subject pronoun. Now let's get a thumb and a thun. All right. The reason why we're going to get a thumb and a thun, because that's how you would say you plural. All right, in the feminine and in the masculine tense. All right, so let's get it. You have a thumb. Then you have a thun. These are your subject pronouns, but pluralized. All right, and they're written very similar. So a thumb is spelled AHTHAN. I mean AM. So like I said, a thumb. Then a thun is spelled AHTHN. A thun. All right, which equals y'all. All right, but one is in the masculine tense and one is in the feminine tense. For time's sake.
Con, I got you.
Go ahead.
Salakia. In Ecclesiasticus 31 and 25, you said go to right from 27, right?
Right, exactly. So verse 25, what does it say?
Come. It said, "Should not thou
So it says show, right? Show. SHEW. Show means what?
That means don't show people. Like,
well,
don't give it to them.
Well, not necessarily. So show. What does show mean?
Don't present.
Right, like you're showing something. Right. Go ahead.
Presenting. Should not die
valiantness in wine.
What's that word say?
Shew not thy valiantness,
Valiant. Say valiant.
valiant
All right. Valiant. Go ahead.
in wine.
So it says, show not thyself valiantness in wine. The Lord is going to explain why you should not show yourself valiantness in wine. Do you know what it means to be valiant in wine? Do you know what it means to be valiant?
La, sir.
Meaning you're determined, like you're courageous in it, right? Like you're brave in it, like this is what you do. So it says, says what? Start from the top.
Shew not be, you said valiantness.
Right. Valiantness.
In wine.
Go ahead. For
wine have destroyed many.
Slow it down. So 4. The Lord is about this. That 4 right there is explaining why. Like this is the reason why. This is your because. For what?
For wine have destroyed many.
Said what?
For wine have destroyed many.
Being drunk does what?
For wine have destroyed
For
many.
being a goddamn idiot because you want to drink all day does what?
For wine have destroyed many.
Like this is why the Lord says, right? This is why the Lord is giving us righteous counsel right here in verse 25. Why you should be wary of drinking wine, of too much wine. In the Bible, the Lord is not against a man drinking alcohol, any strong drink or wine. But if you drink it too much, you will end up destroying yourself. The Lord is going to put the men and women that are alcoholics to death. The Lord says, woe. Give me a precept where the Lord says, woe.
Oh, yeah, I already got it.
Do you know that precept?
Oh,
It
yeah,
says,
yeah.
woe. Go
Woe
ahead.
to them that wake up in the morning. Yeah.
Right.
That means a strong drink.
Isaiah chapter. So what? Isaiah chapter 3 verse what?
Yeah, we definitely got it.
That's fine. You don't got to go to it right now. I want you to finish it out. Go to verse 26. Like we have to make this very understood, right? Like why? Like the Lord is giving us counsel, all right? That you do not want to be an alcoholic because it's going to destroy you. It's going to ruin your family. It's going to ruin your image. It's going to destroy who you are. You understand? It's not going to allow you to function properly if you're always drunk and you're some filthy, disgusting drunk. You understand? If you want to drink all day, you're not going to be able to function all day, and you're not going to be able to do what you need to do. All right. So if anyone out there, all right, that's listening to this breakdown, I want y'all to pay very close attention to it. Go to the next scripture, verse 26.
Come. Let me get that.
Verse 26. Sir.
There we go. Come.
All right.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 31 and 26. The furnace proveth the edge by dipping.
So do you know what a furnace is?
Come, sir.
What's a furnace?
Something that burns things.
Okay, so a furnace, it has multiple uses. All right, a furnace is usually where you put a piece of metal in and you burn it. All right, and you can structure it and make shift things out of it. All right, like a furnace is used for many reasons. Go ahead.
God. So doth the wine.
Let's start from after the furnace.
Okay, come. So doth the wine.
No, start from after the furnace.
Oh, okay, come. I'm gonna just read the top.
Start from the furnace, right? Start from after the furnace.
Proveth the edge.
Start after the furnace, right? So prove it. Go ahead.
Proveth the edge by dipping.
Now, what's the edge? What's that talking about? Who's the edge? The edge is talking about like the edge of a weapon, the edge of a sword. And when you're done, you'll usually dip a sword or any type of metal that you're fabricating or making into some water. All right? Like this is how you know that this is it. Go ahead.
Come. So doth wine the hearts of the proud by drunkenness.
So just like how you would take a sword out of the furnace and dip it, right, to see how it is, right? So doth wine right? So does wine, all right, the hearts of the proud by drunkenness. Meaning that very same way you can prove this is how you can prove a disgusting, filthy bastard that wants to drink all day. All right? A drunk is not going to give a damn about what he says, what he does, who he has sex with, who he talks to, anything. A drunk, he or she is not going to give a damn. All right? They're not. Go ahead.
That was it on that.
Verse 27.
Verse 27.
Yeah. Because the question was in verse 27, right? Because we want to get context and everything real quick. So what does verse 27 say?
Give me 1 second.
Because the Lord is going to explain what you should do when it comes to drinking. That's the next verse down now.
I got it on one, but it's just really going there.
That's what
It's kind of like maybe I need to go to this.
Do you have the app on your phone?
Yeah, I do have it, but it ain't got the up there.
Okay, so that's okay. You need the one that has the pop, but I'll show you which one it is.
I'm about to delete this.
But go ahead and find it. Once you read it, once you find it, you let me know. I'm gonna continue. So now you have these two subject pronouns. You have a thumb and a thun. All right, this is you plural. A thumb and a thun. All right, a thumb and a thun. That's you plural or you all in the masculine and feminine tense. So a thumb is in the masculine tense. This is a subject pronoun for you all in the masculine tense. Then you have a thun. This is your I, your tha, and your na. This is a thun. This is y'all or you all plural in the feminine tense. So these are your subject pronouns right here. All right, some of them. You have a nak nawa, you have a thumb, and then you have a thun. You have a nak nawa, you have a thumb, and then you have a thun. Right? A nak nawa, you have a thumb, and then you have a thun. All right?
Oh, Salakia, sir, I have it.
Okay, go ahead and start with
Verse 27.
Yeah, you start at verse 27.
Okay.
So we got the context starting at verse 25, right? So now I want you to. So now your question was in verse 27, right? So you just wanted a breakdown of it, correct? No sweat. Here we go. So now we know the context of what the Lord is trying to say.
Okay, wine is as good as life to a man.
Why is wine as good as life to a man? Why?
I would say because it makes you feel good.
Not that.
And or like when you going through problems, it does make.
That's another scripture, but this Bible, read from the top. What does it say?
Wine is as good as life as to a man.
What does life give you?
Life gives you breath.
Okay, put it this way. Focus on good. What's the opposite of good?
Evil.
There you go. Wine isn't evil unless you make it evil. All right. A lot of brothers and sisters in the world, they make wine and liquor to be evil. Why? Read the rest of the scripture.
Come. To a man.
Go ahead.
If it be drunk moderately.
If he what?
If it be drunk moderately.
If he what?
If it be drunk moderately.
So what are you supposed to drink wine in?
Moderately.
You're supposed to drink strong drink in what?
Moderately.
Meaning you're not supposed to drink it all day.
Moderately.
Meaning you're not supposed to drink it all from day to the night.
Moderately.
Meaning you're not supposed to start drinking at 10 a.m.
Moderately.
You're not supposed to be 3 beers or 5 drinks in of some Bacardi by 2 o'clock when you wake up at 9.
Moderately.
Like this is how you drink moderately. All right, go ahead. Continue reading.
What life is then to a man that is without wine?
It says what?
What life is to a man that is without wine?
It says, what life is then to a man that is without wine? Meaning, what is life? Right? What is life going to be without a man being destroyed by wine when he's not drinking it moderately and modestly? What is that? What life is that? Go ahead.
For it was made to make men glad.
Meaning, it was meant to make men glad, but not made to make him evil and wicked. When you start to drink all day and night, and you want to have 3 to 5 beers, and you're drunk as hell, and you can't focus, you can't do a goddamn thing, you're not glad at that point. What you are is just a filthy, disgusting drunk, and you can't do anything about it. All right, you understand?
Go.
All right. So that's the breakdown of that.
Go. I want to come.
So just remember that. If you have any other questions, go ahead.
Come.
All right. So what we got next, all right, is another subject pronoun. More subject pronouns is ham. We'll get a ham and han on the board. Ham. And then you got ham. Ham and han. So you have your ham and han. Ham is spelled H-A-M. Han is spelled H-A-N. All right. And this means they. The subject pronoun they. But one is in the masculine and then one is in the feminine. So ham is in the masculine tense. Ham is the masculine tense for they. All right. Ham is the masculine tense for they. They is in the masculine tense. All right. Ham. Then you have Yahan for a subject pronoun, which is in the feminine tense or the subservient tense, which is they. But we're gonna focus on the feminine tense for now. So you have Ham and Han. Ham and Han. All right. Ham and Han. These are the rest of your subject pronouns. All right. So Ham and Han. All right. Ham and Han. So now let's get your possessive pronouns. All right. Okay, we're going to get your object pronouns next. Let's get your object pronouns. Anybody know what an object pronoun may be? All right. An object pronoun, all right, deals with an object. Object pronouns come after verbs. All right. Your object pronoun comes after verbs. All right. Your object pronoun is like me, you, his, her, well, not his, hers, like it. So like me, you got your us, like me, us, you. All right, like these are your object pronouns. Them, right? Like these are your subject, these are your object pronouns. All right. So let's get object pronouns on the board. Now, object pronouns are very easy to remember, but you're going to have to remember them and study them. I also have other videos throughout the YouTube page on how to remember, okay, or how to study object pronouns and possessive pronouns. Because they're actually very, very easy to understand. All right, so you got your object pronouns. So let's get it. First, we're going to start with ya. All right, I'm going to just get on the board right here. That's ya. That's your Yah, which is me. You have your Ka, which is you. You got your Wa, which is your him. You got your Ha, which is her.
Oh, so that means oh, so like,
You got Nawa. You got Nawa, which means us. All right. Then you have, let me see. You have Khan, you have Kam. And then you have Khan. Khan and Khan.
sir.
It's like, go ahead.
Ottawa.
It's like, go ahead, Willie.
It's a lot of this, sir.
Go ahead.
So I'm always just saying this.
Oh, okay, no stress.
It's a lot.
So your Khan, which is y'all, but in the masculine. Then you have Khan, which equals y'all, but in the feminine sense. Then you have Ham. Well, it's like not Ham, it's Ma. Then you have Ma, then you have a Na. It's Ma. Which is them. But in the masculine sense, then you have Na. Right? So let's go over it. All right? I want y'all to pay very close attention to it. So this is your Yah. Now remember, object pronouns will always come after a verb. Right? So object pronouns will always come after a verb. So let's say you want to say like, give me this, give him that, give her this, give us that, give y'all this, I gave y'all that. All right? I gave them this, I gave them that. I'm giving them this, I'm giving them that. I'm giving y'all this, I'm giving y'all that. Like this is how object pronouns are used. Object pronouns are used after verbs. Object pronouns are always used in conjunction with verbs. You will never use a subjunctive. You will never use an object pronoun without a verb. You will never use an object pronoun without a verb. You will never use an object pronoun without a verb. So this is how you would use an object pronoun. You have your Yah. This is what your Yah looks like. Yah is me. Yah equals me. So if you want to say me, all right, like give me, you would say Nathanya. That Yah at the end of Nathan is saying give me. All right. If you want to say, let's say Barak Yah, that's saying bless me. You understand? Barak meaning bless, Yah meaning me, bless me, right? Barak Yah, all right, or Barak Yah, depending on whatever you want to say, all right? Then you have Ka, which is you, all right? Like give you, right? Or gave you. You would say Nathanka, Nathanka, meaning gave you or give you or whatever the case may be. Remember, object pronouns will always be used in conjunction with verbs. You have your wa, right? You have your wa, which is him, right? Give him, gave him, bless him, whatever the case may be, right? Talk, spoke him, or whatever the case may be. You would use it in conjunction with a verb. So you would say nathunwa, meaning gave him, nathunwa, or give him, whatever the case may be. Those are just examples. Those verbs are not yet conjugated, all right, based off of their subject pronouns yet. I'm just giving an example, all right? Then you have her. You have yaha, which is her, which is an object pronoun. Her is an object pronoun. Like I gave her. You would say nathunha. I gave her. Or I'm giving her. Whatever the case may be, that's your object pronoun. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving her. So let's say, I would say anya nawathanha. I'm giving her, and whatever the case may be. Like maybe I'm giving her kawas. I'm giving her a glass. Whatever the case may be, I would say anya nawathanha kawas. I'm giving her a glass. All right? That's just an example of how you would use an object pronoun. An object pronoun is always used in conjunction with a verb. Then you have nawa, nawa, nawa. Nawa is us. Us is another object pronoun, like give us, right? Nathan nawa. Nathan nawa lacham. Give us, all right? What does it say? Nathan nawa lacham yawam. It's like a cow yawam. Give us our daily bread, right? All right, give us our daily bread. Nathan nawa lacham kal yawam. I believe that's in the Lord's Prayer. All right. Nawa, that's us. All right. Then you have kam. Kam is in the masculine tense for you all. So like I'm giving y'all, I would say giving is in the present tense. So I would say nawathan kam, meaning I'm giving y'all, meaning whoever I'm talking to must be either a group of brothers or just a group of people, period. All right, calm. Nawathan calm. I would put calm. That would be the object pronoun I would use. Calm. Then you have calm. This is the very same thing as calm, but it's calm with an N at the end, and this is in the feminine tense, meaning you all in the feminine tense. So if I'm talking to a group of sisters, right, I would say nawathan khan, meaning I'm giving y'all something, whatever the case may be. Then you have your ma. Your ma is in the masculine tense for them. Them is an object pronoun. All right? Them is an object pronoun. Them is an object pronoun. Them is an object pronoun. All right? So if you want to say I gave them this, all right, you would say, okay, nawatan maza, right? I gave them this. I literally said I gave them this, all right? Nawatan maza, I gave them this. Let's say I gave them this, but I'm talking about a group of sisters. You would use na at the end of the verb. Na, which is in the feminine tense of them. So if I want to say I gave them this, right, I would literally say nawathan, all right, nawathan naza. Nawathan naza, which literally means I gave them this. All right. So this is your object pronoun chart. All right. That is your object pronoun chart. Make sure you put it into your notes. All right. That's your object pronoun chart. Now we're going to get into our possessive pronoun chart. All right.
Oh, Salaki, yes, sir. Oh,
go ahead.
Can we give it a breakdown on 1 John chapter 2 verse 11?
1 John chapter 2 verse 11.
Come.
Okay. What is your question on it? Or you just want to?
I just want to break down.
Okay. Read it. What does it say?
Come, sir. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 11. But he that hateth his brother and is in darkness
and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness have blinded his eyes.
Go to verse 8.
Give me
We'll start at verse 7.
Give me 1 second. I don't want- It was 2 and 11, right? Or
Mhm.
2 and 20. No, actually, it was 2 and 20. Was it 2 and 11?
Yeah, 1 John chapter 2, once you start at verse 7.
Okay. You said go to verse 8, right?
Verse 7.
Come. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you,
Okay, so go ahead.
but an old commandment which ye had from the beginning.
So it says, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which ye had from the beginning. Go ahead.
Come. The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning.
Now, what is that word? What is that word that we heard from the beginning?
that you should never hate an Israelite.
Okay, that's not it. What's the word that we heard from the beginning? We're not there yet. What's the word that we heard from the beginning?
I might not be right on one, but that you should love your brother as you love yourself.
We're not there yet. That's not the word that we heard from the beginning.
Okay, from the beginning.
It's right in front of you. What's that word?
You should love people. Love your culture and love your people.
It's right there in verse 7. What is that word? It says brethren. Like this is the problem with Christianity, by the way. Right? This is the problem with Christianity. Christians believe that the law is done away with, right? And they say because we're under the new covenant and all this type of garbage, they just forget about the entire law and they just keep what they want to keep, and they can't even keep that. They say they keep the 10 Commandments only, and they can't even keep that, right? So now when it says in 1 John chapter 2, verse 7, start from the top. It's right there in front of you. What is that? Oh, go ahead, read it.
Verse 7. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you.
I write no new commandment to you. Why? Why do I not write a new commandment to you?
Because everything was intact. Everything was, it never changed.
What didn't change?
The Lord.
No, not the Most High.
The laws.
There you go, the laws. I write no new commandment. Go ahead.
But an old commandment which ye had from the beginning.
Go ahead. So an old commandment that you heard from the beginning.
The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning.
What is the word?
Okay. I would say that you should.
Well, the Lord is saying it right here in verse 7. What is it saying what the word is?
That you should love your brother as
That's
you
not
should
what
love your
verse
brother.
7 is saying.
Come.
What is verse 7 saying the word is?
Verse 7 is saying this has already been from the beginning.
What's the beginning? What was said in the beginning?
That it said you should never hate an Israelite.
No. Remember what you answered. It says, I write no new commandment unto you. Why? Why there's no new commandment being written?
Because the Lord does not change.
No, it's not that the Lord does not change. Why? Focus on the word commandment. Why is it saying no new commandment?
Because the commandments, the commandments are the same.
So what's still there?
That you should love your brother.
You're skipping ahead. We got to focus on what verse 7 is, because if you don't know what verse 7 is saying, you're not going to understand verse 11. Does that make sense? So we need to focus on so verse 7, right? When verse 7 is saying, read it from the top. What does verse 7 say?
Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you.
Go ahead.
But an old commandment which ye had from the beginning.
Okay, so go ahead.
The old commandment
It says
is
the what?
the old commandment.
Go ahead.
is the word which ye have heard from the beginning.
So what is that word? The word that we heard from the beginning was what?
To love your brother.
Law. I'll give it to you for time's sake. The law. That's the word. The law is the word. All right, go ahead. Because remember, you want to focus. This is why Christians fail to understand why we don't eat pork, why we shouldn't eat pork, why we shouldn't eat shrimp, why we shouldn't eat lobster. This is why, because they don't understand the Bible. They completely disregard the word commandment. Commandment was said twice. It says the new commandment, and it says the old commandment. It still talks about what? Commandments. You get the point? You do not want to skip over that. Go to verse 8.
Verse 8. Again, a new commandment I write unto you.
Okay, go ahead.
Which thing?
Now, why is this a new commandment? Supposedly.
I don't want to, because
he said, I'm not giving you a new commandment, but an old commandment. But now he's saying, I write you a new commandment. So is he contradicting himself? Is the Lord contradicting himself? So why is he saying a new commandment?
Because they didn't understand. They didn't understand how brotherhood.
No, you're skipping ahead. You're skipping ahead a little bit. All right, but you're close. You're close, but you're skipping ahead. It's not about brotherhood, but what didn't they what?
They didn't keep the law.
It's not that they didn't keep the law. It's because they did not.
They didn't. They didn't pursue the law.
No. Try one more time.
The law to them wasn't popular.
It's because they did not know the law. You have to think about it. Before we came into the truth, we didn't know all the law. We barely knew any law at all. We had no law. We were just doing whatever the hell we wanted to do, right? So think about it. Just these are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Just during the times of Christ, Peter, and Paul, etc., etc. All right. So what does it say? Start from the top.
Verse 8. And again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past, and the true light now shines.
So read that one more time. It says, I write unto you. Right, you're starting in verse 8. Again, a new commandment I write unto you. Go ahead, start from there.
Because the darkness is past.
It says the darkness is past. It says because the darkness is past. What's the darkness?
Our sins and the way we was in the past. If I may, I don't know. It just the way we was when we was on drugs back then, when we was smoking weed and back then, when we was smoking cigarettes and everything. That was our past.
Okay, 1 second.
We weren't right.
Hold that thought right there. All right, let's hold that thought. All right. So now we got possessive pronouns. All right. So possessive pronouns, all right, is no different, all right, than object pronouns. All right. They're very much the same, but of course, possessive pronouns show more ownership than anything. All right. So possessive pronouns show more like once again, like ownership, like this is mine, or this is yours, or this is his, or these are hers. Like just because, okay, for an example, just like how we were reading in the Bible, all right, just a moment ago. You want to pay very close attention to possessive pronouns because it shows ownership, meaning it's not everybody's, it's mine. It's not mine, it's yours. It's not his, but it's hers. It's not theirs, but it's yours. Like these are possessive pronouns being used throughout the Bible, and no one understands them. So now here you go. This is your Yah, which means my. It's almost like your object pronoun. So your Yah is my. Your Ka is your. Your Wa is his. Your Ha is hers. All right. Your Nawa is our. Your Kam is y'all, but in the masculine tense. Your Khan is you all, but in the feminine tense. I mean, this is y'all. Right? Right. You have your Ma, which is theirs, meaning in the masculine tense, like that's theirs. All right. You would use Ma at the end of a noun. Then you have your Na, which is there, which is in the feminine tense. So, for an example, possessive pronouns will always be attached to a noun. Possessive pronouns will always be used in conjunction with a noun. You will never use a possessive pronoun without a noun. You can't, it's impossible. All right? You will always use a possessive pronoun the majority of the time in conjunction with a noun. You cannot use a possessive pronoun without having whatever you're trying to possess. All right? So if this is my light, I have to have the noun is the light. If this is my board, the noun is the board. If this is my marker, the noun is the marker. The my is the possessive pronoun. The marker is the noun that is being used in conjunction with. Everybody understand that? So you have your Ya, which is mine. Your Ka, which is yours. Your Wa, which is his. Your Ha, which is hers. Your Nawa, which is our. Your Kam, which is you all. Your Khan, which is y'all. Your Ma, which is there. And your Na, which is there. Right? All right. Everybody got that? You understand this, warrior?
What kind, sir?
Okay, more sign of Christ. So remember, anyone that has not, make sure you practice writing your Hebrew. Make sure you practice writing your Lashawan Qadash. Practice speaking it as well. You do not want to not know how to write your language, and you especially do not want to not know how to speak your language. This is the language of your ancestors. This is the language of your people. You want to know how to speak the language of your forefathers because this is who you are. This is a part of you. You can't run away from it. You can try, but it won't work because everything you try to run to is going to fail you. All right? When Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans run away from who the Lord wants them to be and what the Lord ordered them to be, whatever they run to fails them. That's why the Christian church fails Black people. That's why Islam fails Black people. You understand? That's why Catholicism fails the Hispanics and the Latinos and the Mexicans and the Peruvians and the Colombians and the Cubans. That is why, and the Costa Ricans. That is why when we do not run, when we run to something that the Lord has not ordered us to be in, it fails us, all right? So with that, I say Amadim, which means to stand. With that, we're going to give a curse salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Rakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Rakatah, Yanamata, Sala Azwafia, which means turn and face the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to curse salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alafan Ba'ashem Yahweh Yanamata. With that, class dismissed.